1,200-Pound Man in a Spaceship by Nicholas Lacalci. When I was living on the streets, I used to think the earlier years of this millennium were better. After all, the food was bountiful but had to be cooked by humans out of necessity. Most people lived above the poverty line and had a disposable income to spend on entertainment, but they didn't have the quality programming we have now. In the early 2000s, homeless orphans like me didn't have to sell themselves into testing to stay alive. Unfortunately for them, it wouldn't have even been an option. Things have changed a bit. C'est la vie. This is my life. They tell me I would weigh 1,200 pounds if I were on Earth being pulled down by its gravity. Luckily, all Earth's gravity does for me up here is keep me in orbit. A few months into this experience, I realized I was gaining weight, but it wasn't a bad thing. After all, I was starving before I volunteered for this program that launched me into space. But now I weigh 1,200 pounds. Should I be concerned? They aren't worried, and to me, it isn't even a fathomable number. They, the scientists that orchestrated this whole experiment, promised me a trip to space, unlimited food and entertainment while I ate. On the streets, the closest I got to entertainment while I ate was picking beetles out of my bread. I was 16 and starving. I had no other choice. And even if I had another option, I wouldn't have taken it. Now I live up here in the heavens. When they sent me to space, I was 6 foot and 120 pounds. I was skin, bones, and most of the necessary organs. Years ago, I sold the ones I could survive without on the black market. They printed me new ones before shipping me into space. I'm a happy man. If my earlobes were a little longer, I might even be the Buddha. I worried every day back on Earth. Now I don't have to think at all. Up here, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's automatic. The only thing I can control is when I get new shows. I only get new shows when I eat. That's the catch. Well, what's a poor orphan going to do? It's not a bad deal either. I wouldn't have either of these if I were back on Earth. They show me old shows sometimes. I remember a joke that a comedian from early 2000 told. He said, "The meal's not over when I'm full, it's over when I'm miserable." He was skinny compared to me. But unlike him, I've had the luxury of practice. At this point, I'm a professional. The meal is over when my show is over. The only thing to do up here is watch the screen while I eat. I live in a room. It's just the right size for me. It used to be big, but I grew into it. 3 of the walls are blank black slates. Another, more impressive wall is filled with a massive screen. That's where the shows come from. There's a small hole in the wall that delivers food. When the food floats out, the screen comes on. My ship has no clocks in it. There's no window to tell day from night or where I am above the Earth. The lights had a schedule when I showed up, but they seem to have weaned me off of it. I never notice the things they do to me. Why should I? I can't control them or change them. They send me food, and that regulates the programming. I refuse to bite the hand that feeds. I sleep when I want. It was strange to get used to just falling asleep in zero gravity. I'd bump around the room, and it would wake me up, but now I'm big enough that this space is a cradle. Regardless of my size, the ship was always more comfortable than the rough city streets. The food is always the same. The next meal will have 2 pizzas, fried chips, and a milkshake. It will take me an hour to eat. If I take longer, they'll shut off my shows, but when I finish, they shut off my shows anyway, regardless of if the episode is over. It's an art to time it just right, but I'm a professional. If I want to eat more, and I've trained myself to want more, I'll be served a hero sandwich. Hero is an understatement for this sandwich. It's the length of my arm span, or at least was when the room had the space for me to extend my arms. After I finish the first sandwich, I'll be allowed to order 2 more. I always eat both. They show the best shows when I'm extra hungry, so I'm always extra hungry. I know I'm allowed up to 45 minutes for each sandwich, so I use every one. If I take too long, they black out my screen. If I don't take long enough, I won't get to watch to the end of the episode. When I'm finished with that, and inevitably still hungry, they'll send me a platter of cookies. I can eat these pretty slow, 1 every 2 minutes or so for 2 hours. It's a relaxing pace, but they never show anything fun while I'm eating sweets. But it's better than staring at the blank walls of the spaceship. Then the pattern repeats. All the food is cooked on board by the automatic chef. Once every 10 servings of pizza or so, I can order whatever I want. I challenge myself to order the weirdest thing possible. My personal best was a sandwich with ice cream toppings and bacon jalapeno flavored soda. Neither tasted good, but I got a show with them. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to stump the automatic chef yet. Maybe one of these days, I'll order something it can't make. Every 40th pizza, when I get to order something off the menu, my room shakes a little. I assume I'm docking with the satellite to resupply, but it doesn't matter to me. I get served all the same. All in all, I live a happy life. I don't have to worry about going to the bathroom. That's all automated. I don't have to move anywhere. Everything I could ever need is within an arm's reach. Every fifth serving of pizza, I get hosed down by the room. My health isn't even something I have to care about. Once my chest hurt a lot and I passed out. I woke up sometime later. It must have been a while because I didn't have to watch reruns for at least 40 pizzas. Maybe they were kind enough to print me a new heart. I'll never know, nor do I particularly care. It was a deal for me because I got a new heart and, most importantly, got new shows. This is a life I could never have imagined growing up in the city, and I'm so grateful to the Federation for giving me this opportunity. I just hope the other kids on the street might be given the same chance I was. The bell just rang. Pizza's here. Hey, thanks for watching and making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the story, please consider subscribing. If subscribing isn't your thing, then liking the video is an easy, non-committal way for you to let me know you enjoyed it. You can find this story and others like it on stepintotheroad.com. There's a link in the description. If there's something else you want to hear me read, leave a comment and let me know. Until next time, look both ways before you step into the road. It's the length of my arm span, or at least was when I had the room. The room had the space for me to extend my arms. Literally the words on the page. Who proofread this? It was me.